Okay, start of a new unit. What you have is this is a unit called polynomial. It's actually really easy. This parentheses right here is known as a polynomial. Okay, what a polynomial has is a bunch of numbers with variables, with exponents, with pluses and minuses between them. Okay, so right here is a polynomial. So the difference between this and the assessment you just took is you've got addition or subtraction, okay? So it's a sum or a difference of a bunch of variables, numbers. You just have to simplify it. Now you're basically combining it from two polynomials into one polynomial. Now there's a two-step process, but the step one we will not be doing in this assignment. Okay, step number one, what you need to do is see if you have any multiplication. You don't, okay? Yeah, 3 is multiplied by x, but you don't see any times operations here. So done. Now what you do is you look through the problem, make sure all your x's actually have a number in front. So I put a 1 there, and then you're good. And you have a plus sign in the middle, which is good. If you have a minus sign, there's a little switch you have to make, but we'll get into that when there actually is a minus. What is the highest exponent you have in the problem? To the second, okay? So the degree is 2. So I write degree equals 2. So what I do is I line up blank x to the second plus blank x plus blank. Now you just have to find your x's to the second and add. So the x second I've got here and here. You add the numbers in front. 3 plus 2 is 5. No, you're not going to add the powers. That's a multiplication thing where you add the powers, okay? When you're just looking for the things that go together, you keep the exponent the same. Which you'll avoid doing that if you set up the blanks like I'm telling you to do. Okay, x without any power at all, you got a plus 1x, a plus 2x. 1 plus 2 is 3. Then you're looking for constants, meaning numbers without any variables. You have a negative 4 and a negative 3. Add those, it's negative 7. And that's that. Okay, next one. The 1 can be crossed out. You don't have to do any multiplications. So c is the variable. Its highest power, when I look through the whole problem, by the way, I put a 1 right there, is a second power. So the degree is 2. So I go blank c to the second plus blank c plus blank. So c to the second right there. So you add the coefficients in the front. 8 plus negative 3 is 5. Now you look for c's without exponents, or c to the first. So you'd have negative 4c and positive 1c. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. And then the constants, 1 plus 5 is 6. Those are c's. Okay, next, this one, if you look through the whole problem, the degree is going to be 2 once again, because the highest power I see is a 2. But you want this subtraction to be addition. Okay, here's how you accomplish that. You can make it plus, but then everything in this parentheses, every number in this parentheses, the second, not the first, leave the first alone. Everything in the second goes opposite. So what's the opposite of 3? Negative. What's the opposite of negative 2? Positive. What's the opposite of positive 5? Negative 5. Okay? Now you do everything the same. So it's a degree 2 and the variable's m. So m second, I've got a 10 and a negative 3. 10 plus negative 3 is 7. Okay, m, you've got a negative 7 and a plus 2. So negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. Now your constants, you have 2 and negative 5. That's going to make negative 3. Okay, next problem. Again, you don't have to worry about, there's no multiplication here. So you got 1, 1. You got to make sure you see what the coefficients are. 2, negative 5, 1, 2, 1, negative 1. Now the degree is higher on this one. X third, x second, x second, x third, and constant. So 3, a third power, is your highest. And you got to look a little bit here. So you start with x third, x second, x, and then blank. So x third, well, we have 2x to the third here, and not that one, that's x second. How about here, okay? 2 plus 1 is 3. X second, well, in this polynomial we got -5, and this polynomial we have 2. -5 plus 2 is -3. Okay, x's, what? Got a plus 1x there, and I don't have anything in there. Okay, that is not an x term, that's a constant, it doesn't have an x. So we just put a 1 in that space. And then -1 for the constant. You don't have any constants there, you just have the -1. And that's how that works. Really, it goes pretty quickly. Okay, what I tell you about a minus, you need to make it plus, and all these go opposite. So the opposite of -2 is 2. The opposite of +2 is minus. Not that one does not go opposite. The polynomial before does not go opposite. Opposite of -4 is +4. So the highest power here is a second power. The highest power in here is a second power. So we'd use a second power as my lead. So end of the second, we have 4 in that one, and we have +2 in that one. So 4 plus 2 is 6. And we don't have any n's to the first in that one. We have this -2 in here, so I just put -2 down and keep going. Constants, we have 5 plus 4, that would be 9. Done. Put a 1 there. You will have to do step 1 on subsequent assignments, but right now, no, there'd be no multiplication. Okay. Make that plus, and then the 1 goes negative, and the 2 goes negative. Okay, make them both opposite. In the second polynomial, not the first. So I have m second here as the highest. I don't have anything here, so I start with m to the second. The highest power in the whole problem is the second power. That's what you start with. So m to the second, well, I got -4 here. I don't have one here, so I just put -4 down, keep going. M, I have a 3m here and -1m here. 3 plus -1 is 2. Constants, -1, -2 makes -3. Okay, last one. And then I'm going to do one on the assignment because plus -2, and then +6, and then -5. So highest power in the whole problem is the second power, so it's a degree 2. So I don't have any m to the seconds there. Here I've got -2, so I just put -2, and that term's done. Then m, I've got 3 and 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. Circle them as you're looking for them. Constants, we have 4 and -5. We add those, we get -1. Okay, now I'm actually going to do number 1 with you because something weird happens. So a second, a to the second's your highest. And then a, and then nothing. So a to the seconds, we got 5 and 8. 5 plus 8 is 13. Now as far as a's, we don't have any there, we don't have any there, so I put a 0, but when I get a 0, I delete that from my polynomial. It means it doesn't exist. Then my constants, -3, -1 is -4, so when you add two things, they make 0, you get rid of it. That's not uncommon. So it's 13a to the second power plus -4. Okay. Remember, when you get to the minuses down here on this page, you need to switch it. Plus, negative, plus. Plus, negative, put a 1, negative, plus, negative.